What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik, the hardest working man in sports and gaming. I wrote this up on Forbes, but I wanted to address it here on YouTube as well. I've kind of been keeping the two platforms succinct, and as it pertains to this Fix Madden franchise hashtag, I started this a few days ago, and man, I'm gonna be honest, I never in any way, shape, or form thought that it would get to where it has gotten. I don't want to make this appear as though I feel that there's been a major victory here. I do believe there's a first step taken, and I'm quite honestly surprised that this took place. The hashtag ended up trending #1 in the United States the night it was dropped. I basically just put together an image, came up with the hashtag, posted it on Twitter, tagged a bunch of influencers, people who play Madden, who had a lot of followers or whatever, and it just took over from there. So many people who clearly are frustrated with the quality of Madden's franchise mode, and many of them frustrated with the quality of the game, period, but specifically talking about Madden franchise mode. And the whole thing prompted a response from Madden executive, this producer, Seann Graddy, and I was really surprised. But I want to say, and I want to caution everybody, and I even had to kind of tell myself, this, without any specific commitments or detailed planned improvements in the short term or over the long haul, it's really hard for franchise fans to be anything more than cautiously optimistic about what Seann Graddy said. Now, all of that said, it's still cool that he said something. So I'm going to let you hear what he said, and then I'm going to kind of go into things after that.
Hey Madden franchise community, I'm Seann Graddy. I'm the executive producer for Madden NFL. And on behalf of the entire Madden development team, we wanted to reach out to say we see your Fix Madden franchise tweets and we understand your frustration. Now, the franchise community is critically important to us, and we appreciate, of course, your passion for Madden NFL. We're reading your feedback, and we clearly understand that you want more. We've seen your requests for details around what the franchise community can expect moving forward. And while I don't have a lot of details I can share with you right now, I can tell you that today our team is actively working on bolstering plans to support franchise in Madden NFL 21 and beyond. The development team is collectively right now working from home to prepare Madden NFL 21 for launch on August 28th. But we're also committed to providing updates to you on our thoughts and plans around franchise moving forward before the game launches. So again, thank you for all the passion and the feedback that you bring. For those of you that are going to participate in the closed beta, we look forward to more feedback later this weekend. Thank you.
Now, if these promises ring hollow, it won't be the first time that EA vowed to address their franchise mode, and for whatever reason, they shifted gears, didn't even tell their fans that they weren't focused on what they said they were focusing on. A year ago, Madden creative director Mike Young sat down and he talked to Matt Burtz of Game Informer. Matt Burtz is somebody that I've met, multiple times. Really cool dude. Met him at like some other sports video gaming events. Just a really cool dude. I'm not even sure if he still writes for Game Informer, but he used to handle all of the sports video game stuff for them. And he's a hardcore franchise guy, so it was a perfect person for Mike Young to be talking to. And he tells Matt Burtz, and I quote, "Franchise has come back to being a big focus on the game, and it will continue to be." He also says, "We just want to add this rich depth and immersion to it, so we're starting to think about it more like a sports RPG." That is a little bit of a head scratcher, because unfortunately this mode remains unchanged heading into the release of Madden 21 that's coming up in August. And as we look ahead to the next generation consoles, it doesn't even really appear that EA is showing any serious commitment to a mode that used to be one of its staples. Now, I'm not crazy. Let's be realistic. It's the 4th of July weekend. Game comes out in August. It's likely too late for EA to do anything on the retail disc that's coming out. All of that's already probably in the process. Madden probably wraps up the majority of what it's going to be doing coming into this weekend anyway. That's on a yearly basis. And that also means that it's probably too late to get anything on the digital downloads, of course, at launch. It kind of depends on how big the team is or the amount of people they allocate to work on it. But That's probably fair at this point, right? So that means that the best most franchise fans are going to be able to realistically expect is a launch day patch that adds something significant to the mode. I think we are at a point we do need something significant added, even if it's, like I said, a launch day patch or something that happens a day or two after the game comes out. There are a bunch of suggestions out there, including having the ability to kind of go into an NFL head coach kind of a mode. Used to be in the game, used to be a whole separate game, where you can just kind of run your team, do everything but play. So if you want to call plays, you can call plays. You want to come up with game plans, you can do that. All of the things you're supposed to be able to do in franchise mode. Only difference is you're just not controlling the team. Some people don't like that way to play, but there are a lot of people that still do like that. There's also a level of access that you're giving people to play the game. Like there's people who love football, love video game football, and maybe for whatever reason they have some sort of physical deficiency that doesn't allow them to actually play the game, all aspects of it. Throwing the ball to the receivers, they can't do that, but they can participate in calling plays, running a team. I'm going to tell you, my father, who has passed away, we used to play a video game football game a while ago, and one of the ways that he was able to play, we were able to spend that time, was he couldn't get on the sticks and run through the hole and run halfback tosses and pass the ball in slants and all. He couldn't do that, but he could run a team and call the plays and kind of look and have it play itself out. That was a really cool little bonding tool for me and him. So it kind of sucked to see that go away. Also in the same vein, there's also a request that I've seen and I would love to see, just to be able to watch games that weren't weren't a human controlled team. Maybe you're a content creator or something to that effect. You're a YouTuber, streamer, whatever, and I'm doing a series where I'm controlling the Chicago Bears, and we play the Minnesota Vikings next week. Well, this week the Vikings are playing, the Carolina Panthers, and I want to watch that game. Maybe it helps me, and from a content standpoint, whatever, maybe it's just about immersion, but that's something you used to be able to do that you can't do anymore. And to be able to watch it from broadcast cam really makes it cool, and it creates that immersion, which is one of the words that Mike Young used a year ago talking about the direction of the game. Other users, which I certainly agree with them, want better statistical tracking for players and teams, I should say, throughout the life of their franchise mode. That's what it's about. If you're going to have a franchise mode and have limited statistics or statistics that are inaccurate and, like I said, just limited, it kind of kills the immersion of franchise mode. So there's even more lists. People want in-depth scouting. They want coaching carousels, training camp, improved CPU trade and signing logic, rookie mini camps. Create a team is something that I've been asking for, used to be in the game. And I think that's maybe one of the worst parts about all of this, is that all of these features, or most of these features, used to be in Madden back in the early 2000s. So for whatever reason, EA removed them, and they've never explained to fans why far inferior consoles could produce those features, and other developers on the current generation of consoles have better franchise modes, but Madden for whatever reason cannot, get up to the standard. I'm not understanding why. They can't even get up to the standard that they set for themselves over a decade ago. So it's kind of hard to understand. If you want to see maybe the most well-prepared and detailed franchise mode mock-up that you ever see, there is a gentleman that is a part of the Operation Sports community. His name is Deuce Douglas. He put this together that you see on the screen like 4 years ago. Then came back and retweeted it in 2017, back in July. It's probably after he saw the latest rollout for Madden 18's franchise mode and was dissatisfied with it. So he put this together, and it's just so detailed. This is what it's supposed to look like. This is the kind of franchise mode that just will get a person like, oh my God, I can't wait to get home from work. Oh, I can't wait to get home from school. Oh, I can't wait to do whatever so I can get to this and just immerse myself in this whole thing. It's just, what he did is amazing. The work he put into it, 23,000 words. Just crazy commitment. And it shows you how much people really love Madden and want to get really deeper into it. But unless you play MUT, it's almost like EA is indirectly telling you we don't really care if you want to play or not. And I don't know if that's really what they want to do, but that's the way it's coming off. One actual former Madden developer told me that there are people who still work on the game, still work for EA, still work on Madden, who literally could turn franchise mode into something amazing, and they could do it with minimal resources. Minimal resources. So people are running around thinking that, oh, they don't want to invest the money in the franchise. I'm telling you, there are people who worked there, and they are saying, man, it would not even take that. It would be minimal resources, and they could flip franchise and have it be something that people would actually like. But unfortunately, up to now, they're not being given that option, and I don't know why. And I'm not trying to make like a enemy or a villain or whatever of Seann Graddy. He's a guy who loves sports video games, probably got some stuff in common with me. I'm a person who loves sports video game, blessed enough to be able to make a living talking about it. He's blessed to make a living being the face of someone who creates the most iconic sports fitted football game in the history of the world. So yeah, it's dope. And I don't know who all is responsible for what, but I do know that this part of the game definitely needs to improve. Franchise fans everywhere are hoping that those individuals that still work in the building ultimately do get an opportunity to work on a part of the game that they love and make it better. I don't think the franchise fans are going to let up anytime soon. We've seen some success with what happens, and it's just a good example, man. We're just talking about a video game here, right? But there's more at play than just a video game. It's about consumers understanding and exercising their influence with the organizations that they spend their hard-earned money with. You know, you've been maybe begrudgingly playing Madden for years and have always felt this way, but needed to band together with other people who felt the same way and say, hey, you know what, I've been buying this, but I'm not really satisfied. I don't feel like it serves me. So as a customer, as a long-term customer, I would like you to